wrote 8. So if you give him some 100 problems and say do all this again and again, he will improve. But student B, you give him 1 crore problem like this, he will do the same mistake because he has not got the concept right. But how many teachers today give this type of question and test the concept? Frankly, touch your heart, will say, but I. Right? This is precisely the type of interventions that we can bring through AI. Right? How to set questions, how to evaluate questions, right? And basically, have massive data and say, bring out personalized education, right? Every kid, today with 50 people, 110 people, I run an elective with 140 people. I know it's wrong. I don't have a choice, right? 140 people today. I teach here, I teach by video to some other IIT, right? Now we are all global professors, right? We are not professors of IIT Madras, we are India professors, okay? So we don't even see the student. I can't even feel, whether he has understood or not understood the class, no idea at all, right? So with this type of a background, I think that is where, in education, AI can make a big leap there, right? If I am able to distinguish between student A and student B, which surely I can stand upside down for n days, it's not happening today, right? Then I can, my daughter recently cleared, my +2, Shamla's son also. Will you agree with me, Shamla?
I don't know, because the guy who said 8 could be for multiple reasons, right? I mean, it's not necessary that he understood the concept and then said 8.
But 10 surely has not understood. Okay? At least, is there a thought process like this? No, among the teachers.
I like the guy who said 10, because he at least knows to add. Sometimes he does something.
But he does a mistake.
I just trained him to learn more math.
Right? At least he did the mistake. At least, no, how many teachers, my question is entirely different. How many schools actually approach this problem in this manner? Today.
So my concern is, if AI is built based on these decisions, where
it just tells the teacher, I'm getting your question, it just tells the teacher, hey, go and check his concept. The teacher can give a, teacher can intervene and then tell the student, hey, did you get 8? How did you get this 10? This gives you an opportunity. So, madam, I just added 3 plus 2 and multiplied to, hey, you should not do like this, do like this. It gives you an opportunity to. AI can be just a pointer for this. AI is not going to finally go and say, it may even give practical problems to it. Hey, oh, you made this mistake, okay, now go and do these problems and report. Right?
My concern is that AI is going to be built by humans. And there is so much of perspective of humans that's going into the AI, and I
Correct.
feel that that's going to cause a lot of false truths, which...
What is false in this? Suppose I say 3 plus 2 into 2, that guy answering 10 did not understand the concept. This is my thing. What is false about this? How it is going to affect the kid? No, ultimately you are going to say, okay.
The way I looked at the number 8 is somebody who didn't even want to add or subtract, he just guessed the first answer. Whereas the guy who second took the trouble.
Suppose this was the 4th answer. 8 was the 4th answer still.
No, I'm just saying that
Right.
the perspective that gets built into these AI machines, which could be dangerous for us.
So what is dangerous? So what will the AI machine do after this? Suppose you are coding. Now you are a coder.
The dangerous part is that AI is getting built by humans.
No, in this context, let us take this context. What would be the next step of an AI machine? One thing is it can go and tell the student, hey, this guy is doing a silly mistake, check him on silly mistakes. And this guy is doing a conceptual error, check him on conceptual error. That's very safe. Then it's up to the teacher to do it. Suppose some next step the AI takes and before going to the teacher, what would be the next step it will take here? Can you imagine and tell me? It will give you some 100 problems on just silly mistakes, or it can give you 100 problems on this and check it out. But ultimately it will go to a teacher and say this is the problem. Today, do you have a mechanism for doing it? No.
The teachers do it in more than just analyzing with these questions, right? By the way the child is sitting and answering the question, they know whether. So there's.
The main point, Shamla, is today I am handling classes of 50 students for 50 minutes. If I see a student by face for 1 minute, it's just enough. My entire class hence.
It's not scalable.
It's not scalable. Right.
So let's come back to your base question. See,
Yes.
all this is you are leading up to saying, if it is doing those sorts of things where it's adding to something I don't do, it's a boon. So we'll come back to the base thing, which is boons and banes.
Okay.
I still think the bane aspect of artificial intelligence seems to be much higher, because 90% of people who are in economic activity, I would term them as workers or clerical in nature, where routine things are good enough for them to do.
How do you say that? How do you arrive at this figure?
Being in corporate, for example, in the pyramid structure that we have in lots of organizations, I know a friend of mine who's running a BPO operation. I can see that all his 300 people can be replaced by AI because they do the same routine thing to process something.
So how much is the population in BPO? What is your estimate?
No, leave out the BPO. My thing from a corporate experience, only 10% are in responsibilities where they need to deal with ambiguity to perform something. 90% are in the worker, clerical sort of category.
If you can give me a scientific basis or an empirical basis for your argument, I will be extremely happy to take it.
So without debating on whether it's 90 or 80 or 70 professors.
No, that which really matters.
No, even if I say it is 10%, you must accept that there are workers and clerical.
Yes, 10% of.
It will not be 10%. You look at any organization, you look at a factory, there will
Can
be.
I get your point.
Yeah.
Can TIE as an organization get us a survey of this? How many people are doing mundane jobs in an organization? You have representation across different, you have a doctor, you have different people of this, right? Can you do that? This is very important, right? Right? Yes or no? TIE senior members. 70 to 90. How do you come out with this? You please, if you take an organization, oh here, okay, mechanical engineering, okay, I thought mechanical jobs, okay, sorry. Okay, right. So that's very important. So manufacturing is a very, very important domain where people say automation can. But can you, if you head an operation or head an organization, or we are within an organization, can you look at the profile of the people? Can you look at the profile of the job? And can you come out with a realistic estimate? I want name, probably Aadhaar number for your sake, and get what is he doing? How can it be replaced? Can you make at least couple of organizations across different things? Can you make an analysis and tell us? Right? Tell TIE. We'll have another meeting here, right? So that is something very, very important, and that understanding is what is lacking today across domains. Take manufacturing, health, agriculture, environment, fintech. I am heading a bank. I head the IT division of a bank. I have no clue of how many jobs could be automatable there. What I thought cannot be automated today is automated. What I thought it could be easily automated. For example, deduplication doesn't work. Right? We said it's ultimately automatable. Doesn't. My data is still 90% clean. The 10% still needs human intervention. But then there are other jobs which I thought it cannot be automatable. Today it's highly automatable. Right? So this is something which we need to. Yes, sir, Ravi.
Recently at YMR,
Yeah.
a new restaurant is opened,
Ah.
which has got only robo servers.
Okay.
Right, so you don't have any servers, and you give an order through your, the iPad or something,
Yeah.
and the robo comes and serves you.
Okay.
Now, can you imagine if this get replicated in all the restaurants, how many jobs will get lost?
Can robo clean the table?
Let me add to that. I've been to that restaurant.
Ah.
The robot does not serve you.
Ah.
It brings only the dishes.
Ah.
There's a server standing next to you.
Ah.
He is giving you the plate.
Right? எனக்கு இன்னும் கொஞ்சம் சாம்பார் ஊத்துப்பா சொல்ல முடியுமா?
அது இன்னும் சர்வர் கூட சொல்லணும்.
அதான்.
அந்த ரோபோ வந்து கொண்டு வந்து கொடுக்கும் அவ்வளவுதான்.
இதுதான் சார், this is exact. I have a very interesting example after this. Okay, so my take here, again we will debate about this. My take here is AI shall transform the human skill set into more creative and lucrative ones. AI driven systems can perform well defined mundane work that scales with time. AI driven systems can replace hazardous jobs and hence save many lives. AI driven systems can improve quality of service. So AI should be looked at as a problem solver rather than a wealth generator. If you solve problems in this country effectively, efficiently, economy will grow. And when there is a livelihood issue for somebody, he will reskill yourself, he or she will reskill yourself to find a new avenue. And the government can take steps. One of the things that I can do to help, see, we can't say we will be away from AI, we are grown. AI will be, instead of calling it a necessary evil, if we could call it as a problem solver, and then you come out to say, these are the people who will lose the job. I say, I'm not saying that nobody will lose the job, but these are the guys who will lose the job, and these are their profiles. Let us look like NSDC, like National Skill Development Council, give them work. Say, these are the people who have, now find another reskilling for them. That is another thing that we need to do, right? So, but these are some things which, in my opinion, are undeniable facts, right? Now let us take this example, and again I will come back to you for questions. Okay, so we can have robotic legs, at least climbing a pole with lot of deformation is done today. And I have a small ultrasound engine. So what does a fellow who climbs a coconut tree does? I have a 50 feet coconut tree in my house, 50 feet. When this guy starts climbing, immediately I pray to Lord Anjaneya for a Vadamala garland. Because he falls down, I am a middle class fellow, my entire life is screwed. Right? I have to go, I have to sit in police station, life is screwed. Okay? Now what does this fellow do? He goes up the tree, he goes and knocks a coconut. With the sound he finds out whether it's a tender coconut or a matured coconut. He cuts it, puts it in a bag, then he removes some of the branches, then he sprays turmeric and salt, comes down. Suppose I could have a robotic leg. This is already done. There are robots which can basically climb up. And then I have a small ultrasound engine which will just pump into put on the coconut and then get back and then learns whether that's a tender coconut or a matured coconut. And I have an automatic sprayer which can spray perfectly well, right? It can do around that. And I have a controllable knife, and I have a collection bag, and I have a mobile app to control this, right? So that fellow comes with this, he puts it there and he says go up, 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 one camera will be there, he'll just see that, cut, tuck, 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 then come down, okay? Now a coconut tree climber, we'll now call him a CTEO. What is a CTEO? Coconut tree equipment operator, okay? He can very well put a card and say,